Welcome to But Frankly Pierce News. I'm Arthur Fairview. Here's what we're facing. In response to the bipartisan effort that prevented the government from shutting down, MAGA Republicans have in turn pulled the plug on Congress, effectively shutting it down instead.
Shut them all down.
It has been 2 weeks since the United States House of Representatives voted to remove the Speaker, leaving the House unable to conduct business. Situation is unprecedented, and yet Republicans cannot manage to elect a new Speaker from among their ranks.
And I don't suppose they're willing to look for a bipartisan solution.
God forbid they work with the Democrats.
No, the party's leadership refuses to work with the Democrats, who remain united behind House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who has repeatedly offered to work with the Republicans.
This is a ticking time bomb, right?
What we have is a constipated Congress.
True enough. The war in Europe, and a war in the Middle East, and government funding running out on November 17th, not to mention all the other work that falls to Congress, the House is not able to move. They cannot hold any votes to do anything until a Speaker is elected.
Maybe they could do something radically different and bring in someone that can inspire everyone to work together.
What are you suggesting? A motivational speaker?
My name is Matt Foley.
Probably not. Essentially, the Republican extremists have paralyzed the government in the midst of an unusually dangerous time. While President Biden and the Democrats are trying to demonstrate that democracy works better than authoritarianism, they seem bent on undermining the idea.
So, who's in the running for Speaker?
Mouseketeer roll call, take one.
Initially, Steve Scalise from Louisiana tried, but couldn't get the votes.
David Duke, without the baggage, eh?
What does that even mean?
Now it's down to Jim Jordan.
Seriously? This is their guy?
I think I hear someone playing a fiddle.
Well, no, not Nero, but somebody down in Florida is definitely playing a discordant tune.
On Friday, former President Trump threw his weight behind Jim Jordan of Ohio, giving him his, quote, complete and total endorsement.
Jim Jordan, how great is he?
The endorsement could be significant. More than 70 House Republicans support Trump's re-election bid. Jordan is a close Trump ally who former Congresswoman Liz Cheney says helped him strategize ahead of January 6th.
Jim Jordan was part of the conspiracy in which Donald Trump was engaged as he attempted to overturn the election.
Jordan is a leader of the Biden impeachment inquiry and founder of the Conservative Freedom Caucus.
All I'm saying is we need to unite the conference. I think I can do that.
Jim Jordan thinks he can unite the conference?
I wouldn't trust him to put together a wrestling match.
Nor should anyone else.
Yes, in 2020, CNN broke a story about how Jim Jordan, as an assistant wrestling coach, was complicit in remaining silent about sexual abuse of team members by the team doctor.
We've got 6 former Ohio State wrestlers who absolutely say you knew about Dr. Strauss because they either told you at the time or you were there and heard it.
You guys are still asking about this?
Former OSU wrestler Dunyasha Yetz says Jordan is one of the coaches who knew because he told him. In January of 1993, Yetz went to see Strauss for a thumb sprain, and the doctor tried to pull down his pants. Yetz says he kicked open the doctor's door to escape. Jordan was right outside next to an ice machine.
He jumped up like, "What's going on?" I said, "Coach, he just tried to give me a physical exam for my thumb injury. Look, it looks like a baseball. It swelled up." And he was like, "Man, if he ever tried that, I would kill him."
I do recall somebody bringing up something to one of the assistant coaches, and his response was simply, "Well, if he ever tried that with me, I'd snap his neck like a stick of dry balsa wood."
And I remember the exact phrase about, if that happened to me, I'd break his neck.
The coach who talked about breaking Strauss's neck was Jim Jordan, according to both Ritchie and Flushy, who didn't name him in front of the legislature, but have since confirmed it to CNN.
And what they're saying now is just not accurate.
Mike Flushy, Dan Ricci, you don't remember telling them you'd break the guy's neck if he did that to you?
Despite the specific allegations, Jordan's office says his statement stands.
As disturbing as that is, this is the candidate MAGA Republicans want in the Speaker's chair.
Jim Jordan knew more about what Donald Trump had planned for January 6th than any other member of the House of Representatives. And if the Republicans decide that Jim Jordan should be the Speaker of the House, There will, and by the way, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll lose. But if they were to decide that, there would no longer be any possible way to argue that a group of elected Republicans could be counted on to defend the Constitution.
Liz Cheney paints a disturbing future for Congress if Jordan is elected. So far, he does not have enough votes. Despite that, he took it to the floor for a vote on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. And how did that work out for him?
As expected, he lost round one.
The House voted 200 to 232, with 20 Republicans voting against Jordan on Tuesday. Trying again on Wednesday, he lost more ground as that vote garnered 199 votes, with 22 Republicans voting against him. This has an appearance of what McCarthy went through with his unprecedented 15 rounds of voting to get the gavel. But this might be part of the Freedom Caucus's strategy. Hash it out on the floor and try to play the FFP card.
What is the FFP card? Oh, you mean...
Don't say it.
Exactly. Once it's on the floor and not a secret ballot, some Republicans may feel pressured to fall in line and vote for the MAGA Republican Jordan.
Ugh, him as third in line for the presidency?
And I didn't think it could get any worse.
Maybe you were right before and be onto something there.
Always the tone of surprise.
But where can they find an inspirational guy with the right qualifications, willing to step into the speaker's role?
I am 35 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
And now we explore the world of the unlikely and bizarre with...
The deuce, you say?
Despite today's strict rules and regulations regarding travel, people are continuing to try and bring illegal objects into the United States.
What is it this time? Guns?
Drugs?
Feces.
Species?
What kind of species?
Not species, feces. You know, poop.
Poop?
Yes, coprolite, excrement, midden, scat, muck, droppings, guano, sewage, manure, stool, waste.
Doo-doo.
Doo-doo?
Doo-doo!
Okay, we got it. So what's the scoop?
Don't you mean poop scoop? No? Right. American Customs agents in Minneapolis recently confiscated a box of giraffe feces collected in Kenya by a visiting Iowa woman who said she planned to make jewelry out of the droppings.
Jewelry?
Well, I've heard of toilet bowl ring, but this?
The U.S. Customs and Border Protection said the woman, who was not identified, declared the small box of feces when she was selected to have her belongings inspected upon arriving at Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport.
Selected, eh? I wonder how she got selected.
Always follow your nose.
She told officials that she hoped to repurpose the excrement into fashionable accessories, as she has done in the past with moose poop.
The holidays are coming.
Yeah, not sure I want feces hanging off my wife's ears.
Ooh.
The box of feces was destroyed via steam sterilization per USDA destruction protocol, and the woman will not face charges.
What if she just tried to sneak it past the agents instead?
If caught, she would have faced a fine up to $1,000.
Makes sense. There's enough guano in this country already.
Yeah, just look at what the GOP maggots keep hurling at the American people.
Joe Biden's 5 million illegal aliens are on the verge of replacing you, replacing your jobs, and replacing your kids in school. And coming from all over the world, they're also replacing your culture. And that's not great for America.
In all seriousness, there is a real danger with bringing fecal matter into the U.S., according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. All ruminant animal feces require a veterinarian services permit for entry into the United States.
What, like a poop passport?
Papers, please.
The CBP stated, if this person had entered the U.S. and had not declared these items, there is a high possibility a person could have contracted a disease from this jewelry and developed serious health issues.
To that!
Before we close, a brief note. We here at BFPN like to have fun with the issues, events, situations, and problems of the world and its peoples. But we will not denigrate the very real horrors that are occurring in places like Ukraine, Israel, and Gaza at this time. We have nothing but hope and compassion for those who are caught up in the madness that is war.
God's sake, why is it we can't learn to live together? You're right, Norman.
It has been 197 days since the failed former president received the first of his 4 indictments. Will justice prevail? Is everyone treated equally under the law? Watch this space. This has been But Frankly Pierce News. Thanks for watching. I'm Arthur Fairview. Get yourself a cooler. Lay yourself low. Coincidental murder with nothing to show. With the judge, constipation will go to his head, and his wife's aggravation, you're soon enough dead.